What's happening? What's the business? It's your boy Landlord from Alabama, back with another video, man. And today, I'm just here to talk about this big time matchup, man, with big NFC playoff picture implications against these Arizona Cardinals with itty bitty mini man Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot to say about the Cowboys. You know, he's a Texas native. He's homegrown, born and raised out of Texas. So, they asked him why he didn't like the Cowboys, why he wasn't a fan of the Cowboys. And he said they was always ass. So, he is a young guy. He probably didn't know what he was saying, but in his time growing up, we probably wasn't a great team. But, you know, with that being said, that does make up for big time bulletin board material. These days we ain't got bulletin boards, but that will be plastered all over the locker room for the Cowboys. We will be motivated off of that. He disrespected the franchise and the star, and he will pay for that. That's one thing I know for sure. We are gonna be ready to come at his head. We come from all angles. We want all the smoke, and we ready to whoop this boy in front of all his family members in Texas. We want all the smoke with him, man. So he gonna have to deal with it. He gonna have to eat them words come Sunday, man. We want all the smoke. So let's talk about this quarterback. Kyler Murray. He's drove for 3,240, 84 yards. And he got 21 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and 5 rushing touchdowns along with that for like 340 something rushing yards. So everybody knows K1 is a dynamic quarterback. That CD Lamb college quarterback. They had a lot of success. So, we know this quarterback well. He's been playing at an MVP level earlier in the year. He's starting to get on a little skid, on a little, slump, as they said like that. But he's been actually slumping when his team has been losing. They lost like 3 straight games. And they started out the season on fire, and now they done dropped 3 straight. And K1 is a very, very dynamic quarterback. He really reminds me of Allen Iverson at quarterback. Like, he's a very fast, quick, twitchy quarterback, man. It's a lot of stuff that he can do. And he got a rocket for an arm. He can make any throw all over the field from any kind of platform. So the defense gonna have to be on their P's and Q's the whole time, man, because Kyler Murray is gonna do a lot of amazing type throws, and defense just can't let up. They're gonna have to be ready at all times for Mr. Kyler Murray. Okay, now let's talk about their dynamic running back, James Conner. Like, he's the one that kind of set the temperament for the offense, if you ask me. I seen him do a lot of the emotional, you know what I'm saying? He's like the glue guy for the Arizona Cardinals. He make a lot of big time, hard nosed plays, man. He runs like it's no tomorrow. He really put his head down and try to make a lot of noise when it's time to make some contact, man. So I can't lie, I like the way John Connor plays. He's a real hard nosed type running back, man. He brings the hat, so we're gonna have to put him on his behind, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to come bring a leg for him, because he could change this game just the way his physicality just takes over at times. So Cowboys gonna have to be ready for him, man. Match his energy, match his physicality. And we don't gotta worry about Micah coming in, filling in with him, man. So the line gonna have to come and smack him a couple times, because he's one of the main guys that I want to watch in this matchup, man. He got 14 touchdowns. That's just a great amount of touchdowns, man. He's been a touchdown machine with 14. That's kind of unheard of these days. And that's pretty amazing for a running back. Okay, now let's talk about the second running back, Chase Edmonds. He's not a bad running back at all, man. He really make a lot of plays. They love to get him in space and stuff like that, run screens and reverses and stuff with him. That's pretty much his skill set. That's his game. And he pretty productive, man. He got like 539 yards He averaging like 5.5 yards a carry, like 2 touchdowns, man. So he can get busy too. That's not a huge amount of production, but when you combine him and James Conner together, that's a pretty dynamic duo they got coming in the backfield. When you add Kyler Murray running threat with it, it make it a dangerous type of offense. Now let's talk about their wide receiver position. Christian Kirk, he is a do-it-all type of wide receiver, man. He got 860 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averaged like 12 yards a catch. So, he's a pretty much down the field type threat, man. He got a lot of speed. I pretty much like what I seen out of him, man. So, we're going to have to keep him under contained. You know what I'm saying? I believe probably Anthony Brown will probably do good on him, or put Diggs on him because, Diggs a pretty versatile defender, man, because, they got another wide receiver I'm going to touch on later, but I would probably like to contain Christian Kirk over him, man, because it looked like they offense ran through him most of the time. Kyler Murray would be looking his direction. He trying to, keep the chain moving and stuff like that. And they got a wily old veteran, AJ Green, from all them years in Cincinnati, man. He's a pretty productive wide receiver. He's one of the most known wide receivers in the game for the last decade. He did a lot over there in Cincinnati and Bangerland, type of boy Law Nation say. But he's still productive. He got like 750 some yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 16 yards a catch. So that should let you know that he's still a deep threat. Just a 50-50 ball himself. AJ Green still can burn the defense. And we need to watch him, make sure him get all those illustrious catches he like to make and stuff, man. So keep him under control. And they got the big loss with D-Hop being out, DeAndre Hopkins. He been out for a few games, so they saying he might not make the regular season again. So he probably missed like 1 or 2 more games after this. But it's big for him not being here against the Cowboys, man. That just kind of cripple your boy Kyler Murray a little bit because we got some defenders in the secondary, so we can kind of double AJ Green and just take him out the game, or throw Trayvon on Christian Kirk, double AJ Green or something, and they're gonna be pretty stagnant if we execute it right, man. So D-Hop not being as big for this defense and critical for their offense. And Mr. Eagle himself, Zach Ertz, they picked up him like maybe about 5-6 weeks back. And the Eagles let a dynamic offense get hold of Zach Ertz, and he's been very productive. He got like 440 some yards catching and like 3 touchdowns. I believe he only played like 6-7 games for Arizona, and he's been very productive. Him and Kyler Murray got a good chemistry already, so we're going to have to watch him, man, and keep him under control. We know him very well from all them years in Philadelphia and stuff, so we're going to have to make sure we keep Zach Ertz in contain. I would like to see J-Ron Curse shadow him a little bit. He should be able to bother him and be a pretty good pest trying to stop their timing routes and, all their chemistry coming out that tight end position. Okay, now let's talk about this defense. That's the defensive player of the year, J.J. Watt. They had picked him up in the offseason, and he's been hurt most of the year. So I'm hearing rumbles about them might being able to get him back during the playoffs, but it hasn't been confirmed. But it's big for him not to be here when they play the Cowboys. J.J. Watt is still a terror coming out that defensive end position and a big loss for them. They do have one dynamic safety, Buda Baker. This boy pretty much do everything on the field. They have him all over. They send him on a lot of blitz. They love to see how he come out the quarterback. He's pretty good at it, man. Like, he got closing speed real good when it comes to chasing quarterbacks, man. So you got to have that extra blocker or just be aware that Buda Baker will be coming off that edge more times than not. They love to blitz him off the edge. So he's a pretty good player all around as well. He's good in coverage. He's physical. Even though he's not that big in stature, he still a come up and lay that hat. They got a first round talent coming in the linebacker position, Isaiah Simmons. He's a beast. I seen him making plays all over the field when I watched him. And he jumps out the tape, man. He's a big time defender. Even though his numbers ain't just world class, he does a lot. He reminds me of D Law for them. Because D Law impacts the game a lot, but he might not get all the numbers. And that's how he is. He impacts the game in a lot of different ways. He can put a lot of pressure on the defensive line and keep decent in coverage. He patrol that middle of the field pretty good, man. And they got another first round linebacker, David Collins, that came out this year. His impact hasn't been that great yet, but he's still a first round talent that got a lot of talent. So, we're gonna have to watch him. They got a pretty strong linebacker core, man. So young, fast, and aggressive. So we're gonna have to watch them. Hopefully our offensive line work up to that second level and watch them out so we can get some big runs. Okay, now they got a pretty good cornerback in Byron Murphy. He's only 5'11", so all our receivers got him on the size aspect of things, but he's a pretty good cornerback. He got like 4 interceptions. He played the ball pretty well in the air. You can't teach tall, so I feel pretty good about our wide receivers going up against him. And even though he played the ball pretty well, so does our receivers. So we shouldn't have too much trouble playing against them when we pull our receivers out there. Playing against anybody, really. I feel like our receivers will have the edge against almost any defense in the league. And that's pretty much all I got for you today, man. I just wanted to go over this big time matchup, NFC showdown, because this gonna be a big implicator for positioning and who get the first bye and first round seed and all that, man. I just wanted to give y'all my little thoughts, 2 cents about it, man. Just holla at me, LandLord from Alabama, on all social sites, social media everywhere. Same handle, man. The algorithm try to knock off my rhythm, man. So if you could, like, comment, subscribe, all that go a long way in helping me grow this channel. And with that being said, 1K, one love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.